In this video, we would like to be transparent about what the technical things has cost us to make this home off-grid. In the last video, we covered the interior and the truck. Now here's a 30-second recap to get us all on the same page. In the beginning of that video, I did this and that as a disclaimer and said every penny we had to earn ourselves. Then a bit of history about selling both our vans for a lot of money. Jumpstart. And off we went, showing all the costs of the truck, the cabin, the glass windows and the roof window, the wood, the installation, the kitchen, the bathroom, the living room and the bedroom. Now, although we've spent a lot of money so far, nothing is working yet if you don't include the following costs. And now finally to put the water tap on the water pump and to put the water pump on the water tank and all these things, like have the electricity going, like get things working basically. It's fun to be in that stage. Starting with the water system, and in particular the massive 850 liters of water tank. Sometimes I feel like, oh, did I overdo it? It was always because of the water that we have to leave a spot or go somewhere because we had to refill the water. The more we can postpone that, the longer we can be at a certain place. So that was kind of the idea of getting this huge massive tank. That massive tank has cost us 823 euros. We hope it pays off. Next in line is the water pump. We actually bought a different one at first, a really powerful one because we thought we needed it, but it only created problems like leakage at weak points in the water system. Turns out 25 psi is more than enough. The pump came in at 80 bucks and the accumulator or expansion vessel came in at 90 bucks. On we go to the water heater, the water filters, the pre-filter, and a 100-liter grey water tank. If I turn this on, we're gonna have water in our entire water system. So the reason why I'm running around shaking the camera is because all connections failed. If I was to build this entire water system again, I would definitely and therefore highly recommend you to use a system like John Guest and not these Jubilee clips. Greg has a really good explanation video about this one. All pipes, connections and whatnot added, and we have a total of 2,300 spent on the entire water system. At first we bought a Webasto heater. Then we came up with the brilliant idea to have a smart home and thus a smart thermostat. Then we found this guy who would actually build a smart thermostat in his boat, but he paired it with
to our Eberspacher diesel heater.
And I just couldn't figure out how to make the damn Webasto work with the Google Nest. Then we bought an Eberspacher instead. Then I bought a wrong Google Nest. Then I bought a faulty Google Nest, second hand. Then I got mad and bought a new Google Nest. And then it worked. For 1 minute, and then it decides to just turn off for whatever fucking reason. I don't get it. So then I spent 2 days trying to manually prime the lines. Then I broke the pump by doing so. Then I bought a new pump. Then I swallowed diesel trying to prime the lines. Then it started raining. And then just turning on. It still didn't work. End of story. The electrical system. Most expensive by far, but we would argue the most important as well. Without it, we couldn't make these videos, you see? Since solar panels are a relatively cheap part in the electrical system, we placed as many on the roof as possible. A total of 948 bucks. To transfer that energy in the battery bank, we needed a solar charger. We opted for a system from Victron, which is a MPPT solar charger, an inverter, and a battery charger in one. In our calculation, it was a bit cheaper than buying the parts individually, and now we had to deal with less wiring. And the lithium batteries. Well, expensive. If you want to know more about why these, let us know in the comments. Add all the accessories, converters and wires, and we end up with a total amount of 8,657.24 cents. Actually add another 785 on the smart home accessories, sensors and whatnot, and there you have it. Done with the electrical system. Moving on. So the gas, the electricity, the water, all happens in there. But that wouldn't be possible without this thing, the frame of the garage. We had to wait 3 months for this one. But it's finally here. It's way too expensive. I couldn't find it anywhere else, so we can finally make the last hole. This one is a bit tricky though, because it doesn't come with like a manual. I'm a bit nervous with this one. Almost there.
8 deep in a Uber X on a ride.
It fits. If you also add the frames of the other 2 garage drawers, which are very handy indeed, then in total we have spent 1,419.24 cents on the garage doors. Of course, we rather use electricity for everything, since for us it's a renewable resource. We had no idea how much our solar panels would provide in practice. So we decided to be a bit on the conservative side with using electricity and use gas instead. When, after spending the winter in the snow, it turns out that we have more than enough, we can switch more and more to using electricity. Until then, we're using LPG. We have a 70-liter tank, which we can refill at gas stations. With the gas prices now, a full tank costs us $60 and we have to refill it in roughly 2 months. The entire LPG system, with regulators and everything, has cost us $879.53. Although we have put in a lot of effort to buy materials as cost efficient as possible, if you add everything together from nails, glues, screws and whatnot, we have spent a total of 2,307 euros on material. We've also spent 1,576 euros on all the paints and sealants. We didn't cheap out on this one because Spain is having a rough time in our van. And the sealant, well, should keep us dry. We're a bit ashamed to tell you that we've ordered goods directly from China for a total of 1,555 euros and 89 cents. When we found out that a lot of companies, at least in the Netherlands, resell the exact same Chinese product for a much higher price, we ordered there. That being said, we are happy with the quality of most of the products that we've bought there.
Besides the LED dimmer.
Besides the LED dimmers. That one caught on fire. Do not buy the Zigbee LED controller. In order to build the entire thing, we needed a place where the truck would fit indoor, or at least a dry place where we could build. We found a great location for around $180 per month, resulting in 2,299 euros and 85 cents for the entire year we have built. I also needed a license in order to legally drive this thing. You see that truck in the background? That is the truck in which I got my license. We paid 2,102 euros and 50 cents for the license. In making this list, I also added a heading extra for all the, little random extra stuff. But all that little random stuff together results in 1,188 euros and 50 cents, and that will probably grow on us while we live in a truck. So, the total money we've spent on this build is, well, I don't know. You do the math. I said this in the last video and I will say it again. We are privileged to be able to have such a costly and risky project as this tiny house build. But remember, this wasn't our starting point. We started a lot smaller and worked our way up to what we have now. If anything, we hope the takeaway from this video is that for one, van builds can be crazy expensive, but more importantly, this is a result of our dream put to action. Now what is yours?